Hello, everybody. Aileen Neely here. I would love to be able to talk to you today about anxiety and fear and what do you have control over during this pandemic time. It is absolutely uncertain for even those individuals that have never experienced fear or anxiety to be in this kind of realm. It is a collective feel that most individuals experience, some 24/7, others coming in and out as they check in with themselves, as they listen to the news, as they experience a new reality. So while we define anxiety and fear as a sense of feeling out of control, the only thing hence that can be able to keep us going and keep us sane is to know what do we have control over and be able to abide by those rules so that we survive these times. So I've created a list for you and I want to be able to go one by one with these aspects so that you can then hopefully begin to try to shift your thinking process or at least remember that you have a choice. So I'm going to see if this works here for us. I'm going to turn in a list right here that I created. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to show this to you on and off throughout, but I'm going to expand on each and one of these elements. The first one being, don't believe everything you think. This is huge. It might sound silly. It might sound funny to you, but you know how your brain works, how you get wrapped into a spiral the minute you start believing, oh my gosh, I must be ill. Oh my gosh, I contacted the virus. Now I'm going to pass it on to my children. Now we're all going to be sick. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And before you know it, you are in the midst of that anxiety and it doesn't help, does it? Then you have to find a way to undo it so that you can bring your energy back down and feel sane again. So how do we do this? We just want to at least ask ourselves this main question. Is this thought helping me or hindering me? And then you need to go into reality testing for yourself. Reality testing is simply just checking in and seeing how true can this actually be. And you can do that for every thought that comes about that is not adequate or not in line with what the true reality is or what's bringing up the anxiety and fear. And then you can create little statements, phrases that hopefully are contradicting that louder side of your brain, that louder voice that takes over. So if you state things such as, I choose to be at peace in this moment. I am healthy. I feel okay. We are all okay. Just kind of statements that are in the now and are positive to keep you going. Sometimes all we need is a minute or two of some statement that is strong enough to contradict the other, just to sidetrack us and then put us in a different path. And um, the statements might or might not work all the time. So that's why you want to come up with a few for you to work with yourself. Okay. The second item is don't believe everything you hear. So not just from your thought process, but we are bombarded with information everywhere. From the internet, you turn on the radio, the news, you maybe step out and you hear your neighbor talking about it. It's everywhere. So you two decide how much, when, and try to keep a form of control of, if I know that I can only digest maybe 30 minutes a day of this information, then that's what I'm going to limit myself to. Is there anything new that comes about from 1 hour to the next? Most definitely not. Not under these circumstances, at least. So keep in check and regulate yourself. And know, again, also, you have a choice. You have a choice to turn the volume down, to turn the TV off, to walk away from your computer and center yourself instead. And know that we don't have control over the situation right now, but we can control for sure the amount of information that we decide to ingest. And when you do choose that half hour or that hour of information, then you go into, let me discern, let me process this information, let me fact check so that I don't panic about something that might seem true in the moment, but later on when I truly sit with it, it just feels different. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to release some of these fears at least once a day. And that's minimum. You might have several moments where you know that you need to get rid of it. So I'm not talking here about distracting yourselves and going and reading, pretty quotes or listening to positive music. That is something that is recommended, but that is more to relax. Release is the act of externalizing from within because you don't want to keep that stored within you. So forms of getting rid of it are writing it down and burning it. You can work it out. You can draw it out. You can scream it out. Anything that has to do, again, with I am getting it out of my system. And when you do, immediately after, you're going to notice that your heart rate is going to go down because it is coming out of you. And find ways that are things that you enjoy doing so that it doesn't feel like a task. And then you will be less prone to do it if you don't like what you're doing, right? Every day could be something different as well. And it could be a brisk walk. And at the same time you're releasing, but you're also taking advantage of the clear air and clearing your mind as well. And there are some other aspects of this that you can incorporate that I will include in my website in the next few days. So you can go on to Aileen Neely Therapies and find additional tools to use for releasing. Wonderful. So the next item, number 4, I will look at my cheat sheet here. Number 4 is gratitude. So to focus on one aspect of something that you're really grateful for and give thanks. And this is the time for us to really look at what matters the most. We are going back to basics. We are going back to what seems to be most valuable and more important in our lives. And that could be just being grateful that we have a roof over our heads, being grateful that we have food to eat and nutrients for our body, being able to have our family together and feel the love and warmth for everybody, being able to know that we feel alive and that we feel well and that there might be so many other people out there that are struggling with their health. So give thanks about the simple things that maybe you took for granted before, but they mean so very much for you. And journal about it. Go deep within because this is the time to do it. If you are one of those, like most people are, working from home or have a job, that is something that is hugely appreciated and that we probably just didn't think twice before and didn't give thanks at all for what we do have. Coupled with that is the next one, which is about building our faith. I'm not saying that you all of a sudden have to turn into religion. You go the path that you feel is the one that you connect with the most, be it through prayer, be it through meditation, be it through simply grounding yourself and connecting with the earth, taking those walks, going to the backyard, walking barefoot on the grass, playing with your pets outside. All of that grounds you. when we meditate, we are connecting with our true essence and our spirit. When we pray, we are connecting to faith. Find that for you. Build upon whatever you have going, because we are 1/3 spirit. And if that isn't incorporated or attended to, then we're not being whole. So this is an amazing time in our lives for us to actually do something about that and feel even better about ourselves. The next aspect is about breathing. This is also one of those things that is just, we've taken it for granted. We think, oh yeah, I'm alive, I'm breathing. Breathing appropriately is what is able to recycle oxygen in our brain. When we have that fog, especially when we're in fear or when we're in anxiety, then the only thing that resolves and has that quick fix in the moment is to take deep breaths. Try it. Inhaling deeply and exhaling, emptying it all out. 5 inhales and exhales, and you are restored, at least for the moment. So do not forget to breathe. It is essential in these times. I will be later on conducting small visualization videos so that you can also close your eyes and listen to them. They will all be based on my book, Visualize Yourself, and they're all themed differently, from simply centering to releasing anxiety to being focused to sleep, which I know is a big deal right now for most people. And all of these things that we're talking about right now also apply to sleep, especially the externalizing whatever you have held in. Don't just go into your bed and try to breathe and try to sleep. If you are pent up, if you are thinking about and worrying about something, you need to get it out of your system first before you can actually benefit from the deep inhales and exhales that relaxing does. So try to apply these and see. Let me know with comments. Let me know what you actually think, what you maybe have added through the process that other people can benefit from, and add ideas to it so that we can all collaborate in terms of wellness and surviving during these times. So I thank you so very much for watching, and I am sending the good vibes for everyone to be as calm and as peaceful and as functioning as you possibly can during these hard times where we are all together. Blessings, and I'll see you next time.